Hi everybody, my name is Magali Lebouder. I am French teacher at Monte Vista High School and will also serve as the Tech TSA for our site this year. This short presentation is a way for me to share with you what my objectives and my responsibilities will be this year for our site as Tech TSA. So let's get started. I plan to focus on those three areas of support for our site. The first one will be to expand our use of effective instructional technology to support and improve student career readiness, make sure that they acquire the 21st century skills they need to have um, by using technology and also having more technology integrated into lessons and the classroom in general. I will also provide our sites and our teachers with technological support in order to optimize our students' learning outcomes and also improve on WASC recommendations. Third, I will develop and align our departments and teachers' areas of collaboration and best teaching practices using technology to really focus on our district's areas of strategic directions, equity, social emotional learning, and deep learning and innovation. So basically, how do we use technology to really develop and expand on those three areas of focus? So by the end of fiscal year 21-22, I would like to have achieved the following. I would like to know more specifically how and what kind of educational technology is being used at the school per department. And this might be very different if you're a world language teacher or if you're a science teacher or even a PE teacher. What does that look like in the classroom? What are we currently doing? I also would like to find out what is the attitude towards the use of technology in the classroom. Is it considered as a helpful tool? Is it hindering us from actually achieving our goals? Does it take too long? Can we do things with technology that we cannot do with no access to computers, for example? What do teachers think about using technology in the classroom? Based on those current facts, I will then try to evaluate what is the need and the expectation for the rollout of effective educational tools using technology as they relate to our new environment, which is that each student now have access to a Chromebook for a one-on-one learning environment. So what do we do? What do we need? Do we need to add anything? Are we good? What does that look like? And once I'll have an idea on what needs to happen, what are the needs, and do we need to refocus our efforts in different ways, I will work with our administration to come up with an action plan to have a more cohesive and effective use of technology to support, again, the strategic directions given to us by the district, which is equity, deep learning, and social emotional learning. So what I have started doing already, we had kind of a little rocky start in the year, but we're getting there. We're doing great. Teachers are troopers. They're working hard. They do want to integrate as many useful tools as possible and improve their practice with the use of technology. So I've had a lot of questions from teachers and students on how to use Schoology, our new learning management system, but also additional apps that they would like to keep using because they tried them out during remote learning and they like them and they want to keep using them in the classroom. So in coordination with Danielle and Ben Mendoza, who are our district liaisons for technology, I have been supporting our teachers and our students in learning how to use technology for the purpose of learning and teaching. One of the things that I have started doing and I will keep on doing throughout the year is to make teachers and students aware of new applications or how to better use and leverage familiar programs that they might have been using already in the classroom. And I will do that by one-on-one discussions, but also through our weekly newsletter, the weekly roundup, where I will highlight new applications and again, the creative use of all the ones that they might already be using. Um, I will work with our admin and the district tech teams to also keep solving short-term technological problems that affect our teachers and students. Schoology was the main focus at the beginning of the year, but we've had other kind of challenges that we had to deal with at the site level that required me to communicate with the district team to make sure that we found solutions for them. So I'll keep doing that as those problems come up and teachers and students come to me um, with a question or help, needing some help for something. Okay. And then the idea is for the long-term activity is to identify key stakeholders in each department, and if there's any subgroup on site um, that could be supporting me in developing a better awareness and use of technology for educational purposes. And for that objective, I have, and I'm going back to the previous slide, started engaging in a dialogue with our head of departments and Christine, who is our WASC representative, to, as I mentioned before, evaluate how we could better collaborate and develop technological solutions designed to foster learning opportunities for our students. So that's going to be a long-term activity that will take me probably a good portion of this semester to really start collecting data by surveys, discussions, observations on what is going on in the classroom, the attitude, the knowledge that's already being used to use technology in the classroom. I will do that, as I mentioned, through regular meetings with our teachers, but also other stakeholders and key decision makers, and then relay back and forth the information, start that communication to build on a culture of trust and collaboration and increase that at all level of the organization to better um, represent everybody's opinions and interests so that we all come as a group and come up with a plan that will be effective for learning. I will look for opportunities to provide professional developments and hands-on demonstrations of the various technological tools available to teachers and students, and keep the focus on our site's needs, while at the same time trying to keep the focus on our district strategic directions for long-term effective action plan. It is important for us to share best practices because that's how we're going to learn what works and what doesn't, what is a good use of the technology versus a non-effective one. So I will rely on technology ambassadors and again, a lot of communication between the different groups to highlight and gather those best practices so we can share them among ourselves. I also already have started collaborating with other Tech TSAs at other sites to gather information from them, ideas, my own best practices. How can I use what they do over at their site to help me achieve the goals that I mentioned earlier at our site? And I think that has been already very productive, especially through our feeder schools where we have very active Tech TSAs who have great ideas. So we've already started sharing and collaborating in that way. How will I know if I'm successful or not? Well, I will be able to compare at the end of the school year if my teachers and my students are having a different use of technology in the classroom. What do they use now? What will they use then? Did they shift their focus on different tools? Did they adjust the effectiveness of some of the tools they were using to maybe do different kinds of activities to be more effective with technology? Did they drop some apps that they feel were not necessary? This will be my measurement of success as to how well we're using technology in the classroom. This will also, of course, relate to attitude, right? What is the attitude now towards using technology? What will be the attitude later on? Did they shift from very negative to positive? Are they the same? Did they go from being super excited about using technology to suddenly deciding, well, really in the end, I don't need all those fancy, online tools. I'm just fine with 3 and that's all I need. What will they look like? And finally, the third measurement of success to see if I have reached my objectives and at least have shifted the use of technology at Monte Vista will be to compare how well teachers collaborate among themselves and share best practices at their micro level, but also the department level and the site level. And if I manage to do all of that, I will have accomplished my objectives. Hopefully, this gave you a little bit of an idea of what I plan to do as a Tech TSA at Monte Vista. I am open to any kind of comments, discussions, questions. Please feel free to contact me at any time. I apologize for not being with you today, but as soon as I leave school, I have to switch hats and become the carpool driver and then the mom and all of those different hats that we all have to wear. So I just can't attend after school meetings very often. So it doesn't matter. I'm available. Please relay your questions to Jill. She will make sure that I get them, and I will reach out to you directly to make sure to engage in a long-term discussion and collaboration on how to make those objectives happen. So thank you so much for your time. I look forward to working with you more closely this year.